everyone. My name is Jack.
And my name is Ralph.
And welcome to the Late Night Island Show.
Oh man, tonight's show is going to be an awesome one. Fasten your seatbelts, kids, because we have some very special guests from a very long time ago.
But wait, hold up. Shouldn't we talk about the reason why we have guests?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
The reason why we're doing this is because we have noticed that our own story, The Lord of Flies, which, by the way, took place on this island, has some connections with the ancient English philosophy and savagery, a concept pioneered by 15th century philosophers John Locke and Thomas Hobbes.
These studies, made by these two philosophers, end up becoming a globe-changing subject we now know as liberalism.
Speaking of which, recently one of our friends gave us a time machine, and we actually went back in time and managed to bring Hobbes and Locke into the present.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, so please, welcome Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. Thank you, Ralph and Jack. This show is gonna be lit.
John, we're from the 15th century, not 2017.
Oops, sorry. I meant that we are honored to be on the show tonight. So guys, the reason why we have you here is because that we have noticed that in our story, Lord of the Flies, and your research, that there were some connections.
We noticed that there were some connections with philosophy.
Is it true that without no government, people can become evil? Good question. I see your point, Ralph. Referring back to my studies, if there is no government, people have more independence and freedom, which is good for them. But the consequence of that is that it increases the risk of making them more bad decisions, which changes their reputation of being seen as savage and aggressive, therefore become more evil-like. This is especially in tough situations where things get out of control.
Ah, that makes sense. Now that I think of it, I look back to the scene in Lord of the Flies in Chapter 9 on page 152, where we murdered Simon. We all thought Simon was the beast, but in reality, it was the dead parachute guy. Yup, that sounds like savagery to me.
Well, in that case, yes, without government, people are more likely to become aggressive. We also noticed something in a scene where the conch shell was taken from Piggy on page 91 in chapter 5. He says, "What are we, humans? Or animals? Or savages? What's grown-ups gonna think? Going off hunting pigs and letting fires out, and now, tell me guys, what does this have in common with having no government and becoming evil?"
That sounds like Piggy is contemplating on whether or not his group is evil or not, and therefore trying to get them to perceive themselves in that way. Personally, I think that someone can change themselves from good to evil through a lot of different ways. Either they were treated poorly as parents, or they often hung around like a person who made bad decisions. But everyone makes mistakes in life, and it's all about learning from the mistakes so that you don't make them again, and moving on.
Wow, Tommy. Great choice of words. Alright guys, I think that's it for tonight, as it looks like my camera's battery is running low. Thank you, Mr. Hobbes and Locke. You can go back and enjoy your great studies on English philosophy.
Cool. Thanks guys for having us here. No problem.
Well, that was a fun night. We got to connect with our buddies Hobbes and Locke about our book and versus their studies.
Thanks so much for watching, and tune in next time for another awesome episode of The Late Night Island Show.